Hey everyone, welcome back to Grow Roots. This is Shannon, and today I have a new birthday present that my husband got me for my birthday. I picked it out, but he loves it too, and so excited about this. But unfortunately, my 3-tier planter is going to go bye-bye. It is rusted in quite a few locations, and the bottom is rusting. A lot of these metal things that are holding the lining in, they're just rusting out. And I got it for $10 on Facebook Marketplace. It was used, and as much as I love this, because I love to display like the annuals and things like that in it, I do think that this is a better option for that location. So this is an evergreen. It is a cypress. I think it's called Carolina. I'll put the name of it on the screen. It's Carolina something cypress, and it's topiary. And it was actually fairly inexpensive. We found it at Green Acres. So I like to go to Green Acres every year on my birthday because that's like my Graceland there. They have a lot of options there, and it's just my happy place. And I always find something that I really, really want for my birthday, and so my husband will get it for me. But it's a great option, and it will be evergreen, and I think that it will look amazing right here in this square planter. So as much as I hate to say goodbye, I have loved this 3-tier planter. It gives great interest, but it's time to say goodbye. So I'm going to be dismantling that, taking the plants out that are in there. I have pots that I can put those in. And then we also bought a beautiful pot for this to go in. I'll talk more about this in just a minute, but for now we're going to be dismantling and removing the 3-tier planter. Okay, so it got a bit too hot, but I did empty out the 3-tier planter. I planted all of the plants that were planted in that 3-tier planter in different pots and things, and I'll just put them in various places. And it's too hot to get everything going now, and if my camera's in the sun, it'll overheat and all that kind of stuff. So I moved on to the porch so that I could talk about the plant that I'm going to be putting in that area. So this is the Carolina Sapphire Cypress, or Arizona Cypress. It is a variety of Arizona Cypress. So Arizona Cypress is a cypress tree that's from the Southwest. So it is definitely adapted to hot climates like Texas, and drought tolerant and all of those things. I had some concerns when I saw this at the nursery. By the way, this is a 3-ball topiary. I can't get the third. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's probably a 5-foot tall topiary if you don't count the container that it's in. But I had some concerns when I saw this. I think it's super, super pretty. I'm always looking for evergreen interest, and this is an evergreen plant. Again, it's hard to find conifers that can deal with the heat that we have here in Texas. It's just crazy, and Arizona Cypress is one of those, and I knew that, so that kind of piqued my interest. However, it says on the tag that it grows 20 to 30 feet tall, and yet here is a 5-foot tall specimen that has been topiaried and is in a container, and so I have some concerns. So I asked the Green Acres landscape guy, and he's actually the guy that does the topiaries there, so he should, you would think, specialize in the trees and specialize in the topiaries. So I asked him some questions. My concerns were, number one, in that area, I'm not going to plant it into the ground. It's right next to the foundation of my house. So anything that's going to get like this, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm sorry. I'm not going to plant it in the ground. I'm going to keep it in a container, and I think it will look lovely in a container there. So I asked him if this is a tree that could stay in a container for some time. I'm not saying 30 to 40 years. I'm saying maybe 5 to 10 years. Could it stay in a container? And he said yes. So my concern was, like, will it get root bound? Will the roots circle up on themselves, and then will the roots suffocate themselves or get root rot, or there's all kinds of things that can happen, especially trees being in containers, especially large trees. They don't typically like to stay in containers like that. He said yes, you could definitely keep it in a container, and it would be fine. The roots would be fine. And he said that this is kind of this was a slower growing tree. And especially since it's been topiaried, when you keep it in a container, it will keep its size down. And this definitely would be a manageable topiary in a container for years and years. The only thing that he warned is that, number one, keep it really well watered in the full sun and in the heat of the summer. Number two, you'll need to repot it probably every 2 to 3 years. Go the next size up in pot. So start with a pot that's just the next size up, like an inch wider, an inch or two wider, and then a little bit deeper. He said a deeper would be good. And then he said, repot it every 2 to 3 years. That will give it more nutrients, and you won't have any problem maintaining something like this size. He said you'll see about 2 to 3 inches of growth every growing season. So I took his word for it. And then also he said, by the way, topiaries cannot be returned. Okay. But what if he lied? And that's the whole reason that I bought this plant, is because I think I can keep it in a container. And I think that I can manage its size from getting 20 to 30 feet tall. So we'll just kind of have to see. I absolutely, I wish you guys could smell it. It really, really smells good. And it's this beautiful bluish greenish icy kind of blue color, and it's topiaried already, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm just very worried about the whole, this thing wants to get massive. And when you try to topiary something like that, I'm thinking now, why? So yeah, when I went home, and the first thing I did is look up, YouTube videos that might have been done on Carolina Sapphire Cypress. And sure enough, Jim Putnam, I think a lot of you are probably familiar with him. He has a lot of YouTube videos on very specific plants, and he's done quite a few actually on Carolina Sapphire Cypress, and every single one of his videos is this plant can actually get 40 to 50 feet tall, 15 feet wide. Why would somebody topiary this type of plant unless I could keep it contained? I don't know. So I don't really know now if I made the right choice, but we're going to try it anyway. So I want to warn y'all that, if you see this and you love it, by the way, it was only $125 for this huge 5-foot 3-ball topiary, which I think is a great deal at Green Acres. But if you see this and you love it and you want it too, just know that I'm kind of experimenting with that, because this plant can really get massive, and I don't know if that's going to cause issues or not. We're just going to have to try this for a couple years and see how this goes. But it is evergreen, and I love it, and it smells good, and it's going to look perfect, at least for a little while. So yes, let's see how this goes. Okay, Yay! The 3-tier planter is out. It was like way down in there because I have added so much soil to this flower bed since it has gone in, and so I had to kind of dig it out, and then the roots of the liriope and the roots of those vines were kind of over the tops of the legs, but it's hard to see with the shadows. But there it is, and yeah, especially this bottom part is all rotted. You can see like it's kind of falling apart, especially that bottom piece. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so it's even later in the evening when we wanted to plant this plant, and so as you can see, the 3-tier planter is gone, and this is the beautiful little ceramic pot that we bought that's just one size bigger than the container that it's in. I've put an irrigation tube up through the hole. The irrigation tube was already there for the 3-tier planter anyway, so I'm about to attach this. Then we're going to fill it with garden soil and compost and biotone, and then we're going to get it planted. Well, there you go. Yay. I love it so much, y'all. I absolutely love it. We were successful in getting it pretty straight. The topiary itself was pretty straight to begin with. It was just slightly cockeyed in the container, but we made it so that it was perfectly straight when we planted it. And I just love this white container in that spot. That is absolutely beautiful. So even with the vines in the background, you can still see that lovely blue-green foliage. And oh, I really hope that it works. I hope that it doesn't try to get too monstrous the way that it is, but it is absolutely beautiful, and it's straight this way as well. My husband made sure of that. And while I have y'all, before I let you go, I did get some other goodies at Green Acres. Here we go. These are my pansies and a new fresh flat of Dusty Miller. So let me take this out of there, but I got, these are, I think, Matrix Ocean pansies. Last year I got my pansies at Green Acres, $22.50 a flat. The Dusty Miller is as well. This, y'all, my daughter loved this little azalea flower that was on the ground, so she saved it, but that's not part of the flat. Anyway, last year I used, I don't remember what I think it was Matrix Beacon, and I didn't see that particular brand this year, but Matrix brand, of course. I wanted to stick with the Matrix brand because that grew so incredibly well, better than any other pansy I've ever grown, that Matrix series. And my husband and I both really kind of loved this light purple with the dark purple and then the yellow centers in there. There's also, I think, some whites mixed in there. Let me show you. There is a couple of white, which I love so much. Oh, look how cute and sweet those are. I just love pansies. They actually are one of my favorite flowers. And so I will get these in the ground. I don't think I'm going to have time this weekend. To be honest, I wanted to pick them up because I was at Green Acres already, but I know that I may get them planted tomorrow. I'm a little bit hesitant in that because it is 90 degrees during the day right now. We're in a little bit of a heat spell, and then next weekend we're out of town for my cousin's wedding, so probably they might get planted the weekend of October 19th and 20th, but we'll see. That weekend's very busy as well. I may have to plant them tomorrow and then just make sure that they're really, really well watered. I think they probably will do okay. I planted them at this time last year, to be honest. The weekend before my birthday is when I bought these again at Green Acres, and this is when I got planted last year, and they did perfectly. They did amazing. But I love this Dusty Miller as well. Long story short, I'm starting off with some fresh new Dusty Miller, but it lasted an entire year. And then I did just recently clip it down because it was, you know, a little large and loppy and leaning to where I didn't want it to lean. And so I cut those down. I didn't kill them, but I will take them out if they're still alive and plant them elsewhere in my garden. So I got these flats for $22.50 each. Just to show you, this is what was in my 3-tier planter that I potted up. This Blue Days Evolvulus. How can you get rid of that? We've got these Vinca that are doing well. This is Peachy Keen Superbina, more Vinca, Pentas. I think this is even Biden's, and then this mystery plant that I never knew what it was, but I think it's some type of euphorbia, but it's absolutely beautiful. I put them in other pots. Oh, I did pick up a couple of crotons at Green Acres right there. I also picked up this dianthus, which I'm pretty sure this is the Sweet William that I actually grew from seed last year, and mine I tried to grow more from seed this year and they didn't survive, and I'm afraid the ones I have not made it. And so I'm gonna add these and hope that they make it to spring to be blooming like this in the spring. I think they are absolutely beautiful. If y'all want to see what these look like in full size and in their full glory, go ahead and check out, I think it was my April garden tour. I'll have that link up on top for you to click on and watch, because this plant is absolutely one of my favorite flowers. I keep saying that, but it is. I just thank you all so much for watching. I'm so happy to get this added. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw. Bye-bye, everybody.